Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. Judy here. If you fight for freedom, democracy, human rights, you've come to the right place. I upload weekly to this series which talks about dictators and more. Okay, my friends, before we dive into today's topic, please allow me to thank the friends who bought me coffee from my website last week. Thank you so much for your kind support, my friends. Thank you. My friends, recently I've talked about the Uganda butcher, Idi Amin, and Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein together. But if you haven't watched those videos and you would like to know the details, please check them out in the description and comments. Yeah, you guessed it. Today, I'm still gonna talk about the military dictator Idi Amin, the butcher of Uganda, who has murdered tens of thousands of people. Amin was brutal, cruel, and crazy. One of his former wives was even dismembered. Yeah, he had several wives, and it's alleged that he had a minimum of 30 mistresses around the country. So I think when Amin fled Uganda, he didn't take all his children with him. You might wonder if it's true, since he did take more than 30 children with him when he fled the country. But I think he had more children, more than we know, maybe more than he knew. But this is just my personal opinion. What's your thoughts, my friend? But how could he get so many women? I think it's not only because he was a brutal dictator who had absolute power, but also because he was a charming military general and boxer. Moreover, Idi Amin cultivated a populist, charismatic image during his rise to power and the early years of his rule. So much so, Amin was loved by the majority of Ugandans when he overthrew the former dictator's regime in 1971. Back then, Ugandans were enthusiastic about Amin taking control. They danced in the streets, cheering for a bright future, since Amin promised to restore democracy as well as hold free and fair elections. Yet Amin did the opposite, and like I've said before, he was not only a military dictator, but also a court dictator. Since till this day, there are still some Ugandans miss him, thinking that he was a charismatic man of the people. Yes, dictators are bad. Court dictators are worse. My friends, if you recall, court dictators don't only destroy the country, the economy, and the people, they also leave impact on generations of people. Clearly, Idi Amin has left his impact on a number of Ugandans and their future generations. And since people have short memories, some Ugandans have forgotten that Idi Amin had destroyed their economy and murdered between 100,000 and 500,000 people. Yeah, Idi Amin was stifled though. Some people believe that his cruelty to giving effects of absolute power. Some others believe that his reign coincided with late-stage syphilis. He did have syphilis, according to psychiatrists who treated him between 1969 and 1971. Amin did suffer from brain damage caused by advanced syphilis, and some reports suggest that he died in 2003 due to multi-organ failure attributed to latent syphilis. So I believe that he murdered tens of thousands of people during his regime, both because his absolute power and the brain damage caused by syphilis. Speaking of syphilis, I've talked about it on my two YouTube channels. This one on my science channel, Judy Plus. If you haven't watched those videos and you would like to know the disease and treatment and its history and Trump and more, please check them out in the description and comments. Anyway, no matter what caused the butcher of Uganda, Idi Amin, murdered died among the people, his dictatorship destroyed Uganda and its economy and people's lives. And the consequences have lingered for decades. So, my friends, dictators are not good for each and every regular people in the country. And if the dictators are the leaders of powerful countries like Donald Trump, they are bad for the whole world. And almost all dictators use some types of isms to manipulate people and gain power, like nationalism. By the way, in my mind, the whole world is a huge family. Hence, I treat each and every human being the same. But if you don't know, I don't believe in any isms. I only believe in Candiism, which doesn't exist because Candi was my late dog. But you might wonder, in Candi's world. In Candi's world, people are treated equally and fairly. Billionaires don't have any privileges. Powerful and wealthy people will be held accountable if they rape children. And yes, it's ruled by more than two parties, because one party will lead a dictatorship, a totalitarian state. So, you're very welcome to Candi's world, my friends.